Welcome, clients and friends, to another edition of IWA's interviews with local heads of nonprofit organizations. As you know, all of us here at Integrity Wealth Advisors believe in helping our local communities, and we know many of you out there feel the same way. And so to that end, we have a series of interviews with local CEOs of organizations that we think you should be interested in and that we believe in ourselves. Today we're going to talk to the executive director of the Ventura College Foundation. Let me introduce Ann Paul King. Ann, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for having me. This is a privilege, and I'm excited to share with you and partner with you in the work that we are doing together. Yeah,
absolutely. And as I mentioned, you're a nonprofit organization, of course, and typically when people think about nonprofits, they think about, giving to an organization that might, help the homeless or feed the poor, all of these very important things.
Yes.
This organization, though, is a little bit different because you're actually this is preventative medicine in a sense.
It is, and we do those things, too, that you just mentioned as part of that, effort to create student success. So, so excited. At 42 years in the business, and we're excited. So, to be able to be on the front lines of transformational change, using the power of philanthropy to provide and to enhance the capacity for students to gain their education.
Yeah, well, we're excited to hear more about that. But first, let's hear a little bit about you. How did you get involved with this foundation? And tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay. Thank you. I have been in the nonprofit industry for almost 35 years, and both at the local level, regional level, state level, and at the national level. So I have spent most of my adult life in California, but I've spent a little brief period in Washington, D.C. at the national level, which was, I bring back those skills to our county. And I'm excited to, for the last 11 years, I've been part of the organization. I've been in charge for 8. And so I've been the immediate past president of the network of California Community College Foundations. So I can tell you with a lens of looking at all of our foundations, over 100 community college foundations in the state, serving the philanthropic needs of 2 million community college students out of the 9 million community college students in the country.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really remarkable. Well, let's talk about locally here and obviously, how you help the students. What are some of the programs that the foundation offers to assist them?
One that we are so proud of. So the one that we're focusing on right now, there are actually 2. One is our basic needs offices, both in our Ventura campus and in our East campus in Santa Paula. So we're seeing 450 to 500 students a day going through our food pantries and our social service referral services. That's a lot of need, and that's about 3,600 unique students a year out of 12,000 students. Really important to provide that support so that students can come to class ready to learn. The other program is our Ventura College Promise program. It's a tuition assistance program, last to pay program. So the student's required to file for financial aid. There's some extra subsidy from the state, and then whatever's left over for their tuition and educational fees, the foundation fills that gap so that for over 4,000 students a year can stay in that program. All that are eligible can receive that benefit. And we're finding in those 2 programs, our students get higher grades. They are persisting from one semester to the next more than the rest of the student population.
Yeah.
Promise students are 70% more likely to graduate than the non-promise students. If we take care of tuition one way or another, 70% more likely to gain their higher education. Our basic needs centers are 20 to 25% higher than the rest of our 12,000 students to persist from one semester to the next. So these are powerful programs. And then last year we gave out $940,000 in scholarships to 269 students. So if you do the math,
Right.
That's a lot of support.
Sure it is.
So if we can get a $5,000 scholarship to a student, then they will eliminate one 10-hour-a-week part-time job so they can take another class.
More time for education.
More time for education, more
Absolutely.
time for studying, and the faster a student gets through their education,
Yep.
the more likely they are to
Yep.
get through the education.
Yep. Wonderful.
Yeah,
That is
textbook
wonderful.
lending, equipment lending, and then finally we work with our career education, 45 of those programs on campus.
So tell us, Ann, what kind of students then benefit the most from the foundation?
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you statistics because
Okay.
I think these are important.
All right.
And you're a financial services institution. Your clients are very savvy. So let's talk about who these students are that
Mhm.
benefit the most. First of all, I want to say that our support is given to all of our students. All 12,000 students are eligible to receive the support, and they should. The students that benefit the most, this is how it runs down. 70% of our students are part-time.
Mm-hmm.
And many are working multiple jobs.
Right.
61% of our students, well over half, are food insecure. At some point in their year, they're not going to know where their next meal comes from. That's where basic needs centers come in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really alarming.
Mhm.
It's hard to
Yes.
believe, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
brand new numbers for our 24-25
Amazing.
academic year. So when you and I talked last, we had a little bit different numbers, but I've
Sure.
just gotten the new numbers.
Yeah.
So 60% of our students are eligible for financial aid at the community college prices.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much on the financial margin that these students that come to us are.
Wow.
We have 49 of our students are low income to extremely low income, which means they're under the federal poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
We have 44 students are first in their families to go to college.
That is remarkable. This is 2025.
Yeah. Yes.
And we're still having those kind of numbers.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I would share with you, and this is a huge jump
Mhm.
from year to year, 39% of our students are now housing insecure.
Ouch.
So at some
Yeah.
point they're at risk or will be living in their
Right.
cars or couch surfing.
Right.
And yet all of these students show up. They show up for their education.
Right.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. Well,
Mhm.
numbers and statistics are alarming and important. How about an actual real life example of a success story as a
Yes,
result of
yes.
this foundation, this wonderful work that you guys do?
All right, I want to talk about George and
Okay.
I want to talk about Shannon.
Let's do it.
All right, so George is George came back from his education at age 42,
Mm-hmm.
and that was after being 12 years sober from substance abuse.
Wow.
He had 2 teenage daughters in the course of that time. He's an educational support person. I think he is doing speech pathology. I'm unsure of exactly his role, but he's in a local school district and he's supporting students now. And last year, in 2025, at age 42, he walked across the podium to get his AA degree.
That's amazing.
on the same podium as his daughter.
Wow.
Getting her AA degree.
That's great.
This is transformational.
What a great story.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
really encouraging.
Mhm. So Shannon,
Uh-huh.
she is extraordinary. So very difficult circumstances. Found herself becoming unhoused. Had a medical crisis. Went into an ER,
Mhm.
and a nurse was very, very kind to her. That inspired her.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, she got her nursing degree at Ventura College. Went on to get her bachelor's and her master's,
Mhm.
and now she is an ER nurse at Cottage Hospital.
Ouch. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And has
Yeah.
all 3 of her kids back, and is putting them through their education as well.
Excellent. Those are 2 great stories
Mhm.
that really shows the impact and power
Mhm.
of the funds that you receive from outside donors and how they go to work.
Yes.
That's what's so important. So let's kind of shift to that side of the equation, because obviously your organization needs funding
Yes.
in order to do the good work that you do.
Absolutely.
How do you work with the local businesses in that regard
Okay.
and individuals?
So what I want to share with you is that our local businesses, your business,
Mhm.
and especially you with this kind of expertise and other colleagues in your industry are a very important part of what we do. We take raising money very, very seriously. High degree of transparency, high degree of integrity.
Mhm.
Those are our this is our North Star
Mm-hmm.
for how we operate, because trust with your clients, donors, is the most important thing. It's the currency we have to share.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important to understand that support from individuals is the most stable form of revenue for a nonprofit.
Right.
And that national statistics show us, and this is actually from IRS tax returns, of the $589 billion given away last year to nonprofit organizations, 70% of that came from individuals. That's the most stable form.
Sure.
So grateful to your clients who come to us, and all of the donors that do, the individuals. Businesses make up about 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make sure that is sort of my guide in terms of how to maximize our efficiency and our capacity to use our resources wisely in order to have the right balance
Sure.
of revenue.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say to you. All of it's important. We need a diversified portfolio in order
Yes.
to be sustainable, right? So grateful. We couldn't do this work without our donors.
And from your perch as the leader of this organization, how do you lead successfully? What is your vision for this organization, and how do you approach that whole day-to-day operations of the good work that you folks do?
Thank you for that question. I already talked about integrity and trust and transparency. I have a conservative approach that's balanced in terms of managing our budget. We have been in the black the entire time that I have been the executive director, and we have grown. We have my focus is on growth. We have more students to serve. I've given you all those statistics. We serve last year. We served, for example, our basic needs center served almost a quarter of our population, but yet 60% are food insecure. So we've got a gap to fill.
Sure.
Right? So my commitment is to growth. So I'm always going to be aggressive while protecting the assets that we have. So right now, I like to make sure that people who invest in us know who they're working with and have confidence in who they're working with, because the emotional side of us wants to give. Because this is a way to improve the quality of life, not only for these families, that these students are pulling out of poverty, but also, it's about the quality of life for all of us. When folks become, higher taxpayers.
Right.
Right.
I mean, this is
right?
good in every way possible.
Right. And if
what we're
businesses
talking
have
about
educated
here.
employees
Absolutely.
that will stay in the county,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Absolutely.
So what I want to make sure of is that we can grow that support and we can protect our assets. So the protecting the assets means that, once somebody makes, let's just say, a contribution to our endowments, we work very closely with our advisor, our financial advisor, and we get about a 6 to 7% return over a 10-year period. We give out 5% a year. So after about 3 years of endowment being in our investments, the volatility of the market really doesn't become an issue for us.
Right.
We're always going to have distributions.
Sure. Yeah.
Those first 12 quarters, sometimes we have some volatility,
Sure.
but we always look to make sure that we smooth that out in the way in which we pull money out of those things. And then the budgeting is extremely important, staying on budget.
Sure.
And being intentional about our priorities and working closely with the college about how to maximize the number of students that are impacted.
Yeah. Well, I think donors are always concerned that, how much of the dollar do I give
Sure.
goes to the end
Sure.
need. And it sounds like you guys do a really good job of maximizing that.
Well, we have. So I know that's so important to donors, and I just want to make sure that people understand that every nonprofit, and I'm not talking about just about my own. I'm talking about hospitals. I'm talking about the arts industries,
Sure.
Social service, nonprofits. Those missions each have a cost to do business in order to have a return on the impact in the lives that they serve. Those different businesses, just like a financial business is much different than a hospital, have different costs in order to achieve those outcomes. So while I believe that the cost to do business as you taking a percentage and applying that across the board to every small business or large business that are in the tax bracket of being nonprofit is not a good measure of how responsible different organizations are. We do take that seriously because we know our donors take that seriously.
Absolutely, 100%.
So we do have a professional operation
Good.
with professional people so that the investment is taken care of.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Yes,
so,
we do.
And tell us then, for those watching this video, how can people learn more about your organization, obviously beyond what we've talked about here?
Sure.
And more importantly, open up their wallets.
Yes. Please do. Please do. As you have done in your and your business has done to support these students. We are in a community that is very generous, and I'm really grateful to all of our donors. Please give to the Ventura College Foundation at venturacollegefoundation.org.
Okay, great.
And then folks can always get in touch with me personally, Ann Paul King. And I'm A King at VCCCD. That's 3 C's, d.edu. You can go to our website and you'll find us. Search on Ventura College Foundation. We pop up. We do a very good job of being found.
I've got some good news for you, Ann. We're going to make it even easier for our audience because right below this video, you'll have a link going directly to their website and obviously making it easier to be able to make contributions. And obviously, we want to help you, invest in the future of the county of Ventura through education in an intelligent way. And that's where we come in. We can help in that regard in showing you tax smart ways to give to the organization. So it's a win-win for everybody. And obviously, we talked about the 2 individuals, George and Shannon. I mean, those are real life examples of people who benefit from the generosity of strangers, all coming together as a community to help one another. And I just really want to thank you for the time that you've taken today to talk to us and to give our clients more information about your very important organization.
And I want to thank you, too, because you help your clients manage their money responsibly and encourage them to be philanthropic.
Absolutely.
So my last word today is everyone, please find your passion and be generous through a philanthropic organization. Please do.
Those are fantastic words to live by and to close our conversation. And thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Steve.
And thank you all for listening. And please visit their website, learn more about this wonderful organization. And again, we'll see you next time.
Okay.